Hey guys, I just had an amazing conversation with some parents and wanted to share with you guys some of what I shared with them because it was just really helpful. And I'm sitting here outside school waiting for my boy to get out, so I have a little bit of time to talk with you. We were talking about one of their kids just gets really bored really fast and comes in and just wears them down with whining. If you have younger children, whining can just wear you down and make you exhausted and, cause you to be frustrated and all this stuff. We all know what this feels like. We all as parents know what this is like. And so we began just talking through it all. That whole thing of like, it feels like this guy is never exhausted no matter what we do, but we get more and more exhausted. And so we were just talking about it, and I said, one example from my home with my kids is that they will, say they're watching TV. My kids will just announce, I can't hear the TV. And so it's really important in those times that we don't just jump up and go do it for them, when they're young and they can't turn it on themselves or change the volume themselves. It's super important that we don't just jump up when they announce some problem and go fix it for them, because then we're working really, really hard on something they haven't even told us what they need yet. So one of the things I told them and that we've used in our home a lot is to ask questions, because a lot of times what happens is the reason we're getting so exhausted when interacting with our kids in situations like this is because we're the ones doing all the thinking. What does he need? How can I get it right away? So they stop whining, they stop complaining, and so we're the ones doing all the thinking, and they're not having to do any thinking at all. So in the case of my kids, if they're like, I can't hear the TV, I say, all right, cool. What do you need? I need it turned up louder. All right, cool. How would you turn that into a question? Dad, will you turn the TV up? Like, all right, I'd love to. But how would you ask me if you knew I wanted to help you? Dad, will you turn the TV up? Oh, I'd love to. Did you? And then I talked to them about pointing out the difference in how it feels. So, I make sure when I do this with my kids, I say, hey, did you notice how much different it felt when you asked me like that than when you were just telling me what was wrong in the first place? And really pointing it out so our kids can learn what we need in order for them to get their needs met, how we need them to talk to us, how we need them to ask us questions, things like that. But what also happens is we're forcing them to think through things, so they're the ones doing all the thinking. They're the ones that are getting more worn down, and we're not getting exhausted because every time my kid announces what he needs, I need the TV, I can't hear the TV. We're not jumping up and doing all their thinking for them. So this has been something that we've worked through a lot in our home, and I was just helping this family. Another example could be a kid comes in and is like, I'm thirsty, and we're thinking, all right, what do they like to drink? How fast can I get it for them? Because I don't like when they announce that. So how can I do this? That, and that's how we get exhausted. So asking questions are one way. Nicole says, yes, teach them to fish instead of feeding them a fish. Yes, that's great. If you teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. If you feed them a fish, you feed them for a meal. So that's really, really great. So instead of us doing all the thinking, I'm thirsty. All right, cool. What do you want to drink? Apple juice. All right, cool. How would you turn that into a question? Mom, will you get me some apple juice? Yeah, I'd love to. And then go get them apple juice. But another thing that happens with this is really, really important, especially if we have young kids. So I gave an example. I said, look, if we don't navigate this well right now while they're young, what happens is they get older and still we've reinforced inside them that you announce a problem and I solve it for you. Or you announce a problem and someone will just jump up and solve it for you. So this is the entitlement problem. I could just announce to the whole planet, like, I don't have a job. And the government will just jump and give me money. And I haven't even done anything or asked anything, or all I did was announce a problem. And there's no conversation about it. And so that's an extreme example. But, I've heard stories of younger adults that are like 20, 21 years old, and they come downstairs and they say, my car doesn't work. I can't go to my job. And the parents will just jump up, put them in their car, take them to work, drop them off. But they never said, all right, what do you need? All right, how would you turn that into a question? So kids get reinforced over and over that I announce my problem and someone else solves it for me. Someone else does all my thinking, so they're super mentally exhausted. Someone else does all the work for me, so they're physically exhausted. I didn't do anything except announce what was wrong. And when we have young children, the sooner we can deal with this, the sooner they learn. I can't just announce my problems and someone else will fix it. I need to actually think about what I need. I actually need to turn it into a question. I actually need to ask it in a way that's respectful. I need to ask it knowing that my parents are on my side, not trying to trick them or get them to do something. I can ask them knowing that they're good, knowing that they want to help. And wow, there's so little friction between us right now. And wow, I'm getting my needs met because I'm asking for help when I need it. I'm not just announcing the problem. So this thing, when we have young kids, it's really important we bring this in now. Not just so we're not the ones mentally exhausted, but so we position them for a life of, wow, I need something and I don't know how to get it, so I need to ask for help, not just announce the problem, not just announce the issue. But in the meantime, while they're young, if we do this, I can't hear the TV. Cool. What do you need? I'm forcing him to think. I need it turned up. All right, awesome. How would you turn that into a question? I'm forcing him to think. Dad, will you turn it up for me? Yes. I would love to, but how would you ask me if you knew? I would say yes, and you knew I would help you. Oh, Dad, will you help me? Wow, doesn't that feel good? I'm forcing them to do all the thinking, and I'm not getting mentally exhausted. They're getting mentally exhausted, and I'm reinforcing over and over that I want to help them, that I'm on their side, and that they don't just get to announce what the problem is and I'll solve it for them. They're getting more tired, I'm not getting more tired, and that's what I was going to tell you. They're learning cause and effect. This is really important, especially for boys who don't have any cause and effect thinking built in until they're 30. This helps them realize cause and effect. Oh, if I ask like that, my parents don't really want to help me. Oh, if I ask like that, they do. And then when you tell them that, hey, when you ask like that, did you notice how different it felt? Did you notice how much smoother it went? That felt really good for me. We're just reinforcing good, healthy, emotional, non-entitled, not exhausted from our end, cause and effect thinking inside their heads. So just thought I'd share that with you. My son's going to come out from school anytime. And yes, Jessica, it will help nip that whining too. Asking good questions will help nip whining in the bud so it doesn't grow into stuff none of us want. Bless you guys. I got to run and hope that's helpful for you. It's been really helpful for us and really helpful for a lot of families. So bless you tons. Bye.